Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zack, and today I am driving a 2001 Dodge Ram 2500 SLT. Up front is a 5.9 liter turbo diesel inline 6, and down below is a 4-speed automatic transmission. Now, I am super excited to be driving this Ram 2500 for two reasons. First of all, if you guys know me here on the channel, my first vehicle that my parents let me drive was a 1998 Dodge Ram, and I took that to high school. I drove it everywhere. That's where I learned how to drive and how to be independent. When I took my driver's test in. And so I've always had a soft spot for these second-gen Rams. But the second reason is the fact that this is the 24-valve Cummins. This is one of the most famous diesel engines, especially from the Cummins brand, although not as famous as the 12-valve. But this is my first time driving a diesel second-gen, so I'm excited to share it with you. But if you would like to submit your own vehicle and have it reviewed here on the channel, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. And if you would like to see all my videos weeks or sometimes months in advance, you can head on over to my Patreon for only $5 a month, as well as there's exclusive audio content. But let's get back to that 24-valve Cummins. Well, it makes only about 235 horsepower. There was also a high output one that would make 245, but that's not really why you buy it. You buy it because they're reliable, they're very stout, and they make good torque for pulling. I'll put the torque number up on the screen. I don't have it in front of me at the moment, but it's only an inline 6, but it's almost 6 liters of displacement. And this one has a tune on it to make it just a little bit more powerful. Like I said, paired to it is a 4-speed automatic. This is 100% the crux of these second-gen Rams. No matter what trim level, engine specification, all of the 4-speed autos pretty much sucked, and this is no different. And last but not least, it of course is 4-wheel drive, and we'll talk about how to select that a little bit later on. How does it feel to drive the 24-valve Cummins? Well, let's get it out onto the main road and figure it out. Well, it has crazy turbo noises. It blows tons and tons of smoke. The window doesn't want to go up. The steering is looser than the waistband of those boxers you've been nursing the last 2 Christmases. It's time to throw away your underwear, guys. Get a new pair. It's sketchy, but it makes great noises. Got that going for it. Visibility is good if it didn't have these stupid tints on it. And naturally, because it is a Cummins, it does have the tow mirrors permanently stuck out. Ride quality is dog water. I'm not really having fun, as the kids would say, but it's entertaining. And there it has just developed a really nasty vibration in the steering. Gotta love a Dodge, baby. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have 6 gauges. Off to the left is my coolant temperature and battery voltage, as well as my tachometer that only goes up to about 3,500. And off to the right, we have the speedometer, oil pressure, and fuel. The steering wheel, although it's giving me tons of nostalgia, just has cruise control on it. And off to the left, we do have our headlight switch and cargo dome light, as well as a climate vent. Moving on to the door, we do have power mirrors and our power windows. Moving into the center, we get 2 climate control vents. We get our passenger airbag on and off. Used to love threatening my friends with that. Hey, you want to keep talking? I'll turn your airbag off. I'll do it. It's a great bit. Great bit. Climate controls off to the left, where to send it. Up at the top, fan speed in the center, and temperature down below, as well as we have mirror defrosting. However, there was a big issue is that here in the Midwest, it gets so cold that if you did the mirror defroster when it was like below 0, it would crack the mirror. So good luck going to a junkyard and finding an uncracked side mirror. We do have an aftermarket radio in the center, little cubby, cigarette lighter, and we would have cup holders in the center. However, they are missing because they all break and fall out. Much like the dashboard up at the top, it is MIA. It no longer exists because it was made of such a brittle plastic that if you set anything on it, if you looked at it funny, if you breathed through your lungs, it would crack, shatter, and disintegrate. So very, very hard to find a second-gen Ram with a good dashboard. So unfortunately, I can't show you that today. We do have our 4-wheel drive settings down on the floor. 2 high, 4 high, neutral, and 4 low. And then we do have a center console. Used to love this giant center console. Tons of storage space and built-in coin holders, which I always loved. However, this one has an aftermarket edition for more cup holders. And we'll do a big freaking bottle test, and it passes. However, this is an aftermarket part, so we can't give the Ram 2500 an overall pass, but something unique about this one. The seats are comfy, cozy. I love this 90s checkerboard that they had on it. My personal truck actually had leather, but it got torn up. So I actually swapped these seats into it. I was very proud of doing that back in high school. And so I like it. This does have back seats. However, the rear doors are rusted shut. It would have these like little half reverse opening doors. So getting back there is going to be a bit of a challenge. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be very clear and honest with you right now. You're probably going to see parts of me that you never wanted to, and that's just the reality of what's about to happen because I got to get in the back seat without opening the rear doors, which is how they were designed to get into. So, all right. I don't know if this counts as being in the back seat. You could get single cab trucks. That's what I had. I always had a single cab. This is not it. These doors would open up, which was very popular in the late 90s, early 2000s. Silverado had the same deal. I actually haven't driven an F-150 from this era. I've only done the old OBS and then like mid-2000s, so I haven't done like the curvy one, like from Fast and Furious or something like that. So I'm not totally sure, but I know Silverados had these half doors too. I think that they're kind of dumb, but I've never sat like this in a truck with my feet just dangling over the center console. But here we are. First time for everything. I'm going to find a way to wiggle out of here, and then we'll talk about the bed and cargo space. All right, so unfortunately, I'm going to have to kind of talk loud because once this thing shuts off, it does not want to restart, which is why we had to spray it with some basically ether to get it running. So this is the shorter box because it had the bigger cab. I personally actually had a long bed, so this to me looks kind of disproportional, but there it is. That's the bed, which there's a spark plug in there. That doesn't go to this, silly. Ooh, there's like a big bug up there. Is that a cicada? Oh, it's fake. Oh, it's fake. That scared me. Okay. Well, here's the backside of a second-gen Ram, in case you were ever curious. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and I think this is a good-looking truck. I think second-gen Rams are good-looking trucks, but I'm not a good person to ask because there's so much nostalgia for me with this truck that my viewpoint is blurred. I love it, love it, love it. I want to buy one of these when I get older. I want to restore one. I want to have a model of one on my desk. There's so much love from me in my heart for this body style of Ram. I do think it's good looking, but beyond that, I just think it's the best truck ever because this is how I learned about the world. It's the first vehicle I drove with my license and all that. So it's good, but again, I'm not the right person to ask. With all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving this 2001 Dodge Ram 2500 SLT with the 24-valve Cummins? The Cummins motor is great. Although the 12-valve is technically stronger and can hold more boost, hold more power, it's not to knock the 24-valve at all. It's still a very reliable, very good engine, and it has 378,000 miles on it. And it's still going. the engine is very strong. It doesn't have any blow-by, which is fantastic to see. Now, the body is going to rust and fall off around it. That was always the Achilles heel of the second-gen Ram. The bodies just fell apart while the engines were good, and even the 5.9-liter Magnum V8 was a great gasoline engine. That's what I had, and although it burned oil for over a decade, it never quit a single time. But on the other side, I really wanted to do this video because this is the current state of second-gen Rams. I'm sure maybe one day I could find a museum-quality example. But this is the brutal, brutal reality of what second-gen Rams have become. As much love as I have for them, the build quality was terrible. It was dumpster-worthy. The plastics in here are laughably cheap and brittle. The metal that they used was thin and prone to rusting. It's as if when they left the factory, they filled it with salt water. I mean, even in the mid-2000s, when these trucks were under 10 years old, they were rusting out. But it's beyond the point. The engine is great. It's just strapped to a moldy piece of bread, and that's a doggone shame. But no matter what that engine's strapped to, no matter what this truck looks like or drives like, I will always love it. This truck gave me my independence, and quite frankly, I don't think I would be here or have a YouTube channel if it weren't for that original 1998 Dodge Ram that I had. That was my passport to a whole new life, and for that, I thank the second-gen Ram. Not only that 98, but this 01 for having such an awesome reputation. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Ted for letting me borrow his 24-valve Cummins. Ted is absolutely wonderful. We filmed 3 of his vehicles here today, but countless of his vehicles in the past. He's really, really a truly good friend of mine, and I appreciate him very, very much. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, subscribe if you really liked it, and enjoy the silence. Take care, guys.